Isso. Malaka. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Computer Love, part 43.
I'm a 23-year-old woman, and I started using the dating app Hinge a while ago. I had tried a few of the other apps with little success, but I heard from a friend that this one was supposed to be better. I took her word for it and set up a profile. It wasn't long before I started getting matches. One of my matches was Chris. He was a year older than me, with brown hair and kind of an artistic-looking style. Thick glasses with a beard. We had a pretty good conversation one night, and because of that, we decided to meet up in real life. There was a bar that I'd been to a few times with friends, and we agreed to go there. It wasn't my main spot. You should never bring online dates to your favorite places, just in case. I was a little late, so when I got there, Chris was standing at the front waiting. We went in and actually had a pretty good time. Chris was a little socially awkward, but it wasn't that bad. I actually found him kind of cute. We had a few drinks and talked for about 2 hours. Then we went our separate ways, and I headed home. Over the next few weeks, Chris would text me sporadically. I would say once every 2 or 3 days on average. He would go hours or even days without replying, and that's a big red flag for me, so I eventually just stopped answering him. I figured he wasn't ready for someone like me. No hard feelings, I thought. Fast forward to a few weeks later, and I was at home bored when I got a notification on my phone. It was Chris. I was surprised to hear from him, but slightly in a positive way. He asked me if I wanted to hang out that night, and like I said, I was bored, so I agreed. This time I gave him my address so he could pick me up. Half an hour later, he pulled up in front of my building. He had a blue Honda Civic with a large dent in the rear bumper. I got in, and as soon as I did, the mood felt off. Like I mentioned before, he was kind of an awkward guy, but this time, he hardly said a word. I immediately regretted my decision to get into a car with this guy. I decided that as soon as we stopped, I would make an excuse and get out of there. We were going to a different bar this time, and as soon as Chris parked the car, I faked an important call and said I had to leave. I could tell by the look on his face that he didn't believe me, but I turned around and walked away, and he didn't try to stop me. When I was on the bus, I blocked and deleted Chris from Hinge and blocked his number on my phone as well. He didn't do anything that bad, just gave me a weird feeling. It's hard to explain, it just felt off. However, if that was the end of it, then this wouldn't be a very scary story. Over the coming days, Chris sent me a friend request on Facebook and also followed me on Instagram. I was starting to feel creeped out, so I blocked him on both apps. A few days went by, and nothing really happened. However, eventually, I started seeing some things that really scared me. I started to see his car parked on the street near my work, and even near my apartment building. The dent in the bumper was a dead giveaway. It started to seem like he was stalking me. A few weeks went by, and I kept seeing the car now and then, but I never saw Chris. However, that would eventually change. One evening, I was coming home late from work. I was walking down the sidewalk. It was dark, and for reasons I can't explain, a chill ran down my spine. That was when I looked across the street and saw Chris's car. It was a very quiet night. The street was almost completely empty, so I was feeling very vulnerable. Just then, I was grabbed from behind. A man's arm was wrapped around me. It was Chris. We struggled for what seemed like a long time, but it was probably only a few seconds. It was soon obvious that I could not overpower him, so I did the one thing that I could think to do. I screamed. I screamed as loud as I could, and I didn't stop. Eventually, the noise must have been enough to draw some attention to us, because a few people came out onto the street from one of the nearby apartment buildings. As soon as that happened, Chris took off. I called the police that night and told them the whole story. Fortunately, I wrote down Chris's license plate number, so it was not difficult to track him down. Legal charges are still pending against him for what he did, but I was given a restraining order pretty much overnight. There were many warning signs for what eventually happened. Looking back, I feel that I should have called the police as soon as I started seeing his car parked in my neighborhood. Signs like that should never be ignored, and I almost paid a horrible price because of it.
Well, that's creepy. I think I told this story before. One time I saw this girl for a little bit off and on, and I had a smoke, and I'm just walking out. It was a basement apartment. I'm just walking out the driveway to the sidewalk. And then at one point I see a car that looks very familiar. And then as soon as I saw the car just started and just took off. So I'm almost positive that was one of my exes. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, listen, you do this online dating thing, you're gonna meet a lot of creeps. I mean, it is what it is. It's not. It's not gonna be easy, man. Like, it's not like, I don't mean to laugh or nothing. I'm just saying, like, I mean, and again, I'm on episode 43 here, so it. Oh boy, I can't wait till number 50. But the point is, I mean, yeah, it's pretty crazy out there. I mean, you know, I don't know. I just, and ladies too. Yeah, you see something creepy about a dude, you gotta call the cops right away. Don't waste any fucking time here. I mean, you know, yeah. What was it, the Son of Sam killer? Remember that dude? And then it ended up being I don't know, the two brothers or some shit. And I don't know, because they figured out the car couldn't go to point A to point B. And then women were literally cutting their hair because, they knew they were looking for a person with long hair or something. It was a whole thing. I mean, listen, you'd like to think times have changed. I mean, there hasn't been a serial killer in quite some time, for the most part. Because of DNA evidence and all that. But, ladies, gentlemen, if someone's stalking you call the cops, man. I mean, we're not paying taxes for nothing here, well, assuming that most of you are paying taxes. I mean, I'm just saying, whatever. I pay my taxes. I'm just saying, but the point is, okay, you see something wrong, alert somebody, make sure it's no fatal attraction shit, just say something, all right? But again, we're on beautiful episode 43 here because, I got to please my 3 listeners. And, yeah, let's get to it. Why not? Let me just say this right off the bat here. I don't know, sometimes, like, you go on a dating app and, I don't know, sometimes, like, you accidentally delete a profile and, that you're interested in, and like you might have a good rapport with someone, and that's what happened with me. So you got to be careful of who you delete here and who you want to talk to and all that, because I know this one woman I was gonna talk to, well, I don't think it would have worked out anyway, because I don't think she spoke English, but I think she was interested in me, and it just I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, but the point is, you got to be just be aware of what's going on around you. All right, and that's all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me just change gears here, okay? And let me just try to be a little more serious. So, there's one girl I was talking to for a while, and we were off and on for months, and trying to get together, and of course, you live in Canada, the weather can be a real cock block, and, other things came up, stuff with, her family, my work, so we're just trying to get together here, whatever, and, I don't know, it's, I don't know, sometimes, like, like you can tell when someone is damaged, and like, they finally let you know they're damaged. It takes a while. I mean, I know I joke around a lot on this podcast, but I'm trying to be serious here. I mean, mental health is no joke. Honestly, and a lot of it does have to do with people, how they're treated in relationships. I mean, I've met a lot of women online, and yeah, I mean, they tell me that a lot of them are just they're just fucking like abused. Maybe not so much physically sometimes, but yeah, a lot of times just mentally. They're told they're fat, they're stupid. The other guy cheats on them, and they'll admit it too. They're like, I'm gonna cheat on you and just do a bunch of shit, and I don't care about you, blah blah blah. Like, it's fucking disgusting, man. Honestly, like it really is. It's pretty bad. I mean, you see a lot of stuff on here, that it's not good, and. And me and her, like, we fought a lot, but again, like, I could tell, like, there was something else there. Like, I could tell she wasn't really mad at me. Believe me, I mean, looking like this, I can tell when a woman's mad and, turned off by me. I can tell. But I can also tell when it's something else, right? Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I use the term broad a lot. Okay, to me, broad means a tough woman. I've even Googled it, different meanings, and it does say, yeah, it means, tough woman. But a lot of women don't like being called a broad, so I don't know what to tell you. I'm 42. I'm not changing. Fuck it. I'm not, honestly. I'm not. I'm like, I've had to change other things in my life. I'm not changing this. Okay, I recently quit smoking. I don't drink that much anymore. I haven't even drinking at all this year. Okay, bupkis. Nothing. I smoke weed? Yeah, of course I do. I'm Canadian. But the point is, there's only so much I can do. Okay? But then at one point she messages me and says, I'm not a broad. I'm looking for more than just sex. And again, I never said just sex. See, again, like I swear to you, I did not. I just wanted to take her out. We had a whole thing planned. But then a lot of times when you get into a fight with a woman, let's be honest. It works both ways too. I'm sure guys pull this shit too. They flip it and make you the bad guy. I didn't do fucking shit, okay? And I can tell when she's mad at me, she's not mad at me. She's mad at the ex. I can tell. Trust me. Believe you me. I can tell when a woman is mad at me. The whole silent treatment. They usually make bald jokes, fat jokes, mental retardation jokes, I like to say I can argue with any of this, but the point is, I just know. And then she says, I don't like being called that. That is offensive to me. You are not a sucker. No suckers or broads present. I don't know what that means. Sucker. Like, I don't know. I never called her a sucker either. I mean, broad. Yeah, for sure. Of course. That's, I'm half Italian. I don't know. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? But, again, we wanted to get together one weekend. And of course, beautiful Canada weather, it sucks. And, it's even worse where she was and, more arguing and whatever. And then she finally, tells me, what's going on. What's up. And then she says, I have an ex who I have a no contact order on. Now I'm getting calls from him at my work, of which I had to tell then police about. He is a POS, which I have no idea what that means. Maybe he's a police officer? I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? And has somehow put some things in my name, and they are calling me, and now I have to prove it wasn't me. As I didn't live in the area or, whatever, the other area at the time. His ex told me that is where he was in those timelines. So now he ranking my name, I'm assuming she means wrecking, and credit after everything else. So much bullshit. Again, I didn't know all this. I didn't know. But again, you can tell who's damaged. And again, I'm not blaming her for it. I mean, the whole purpose of me seeing her was just to go out, to have a good time, see where it goes. I swear to God, I like to go out and see if we click in person, whether it's over a coffee or an ice cream. An ice cream is good at any time of year. I don't give a shit if it's 30 degrees or minus 20. Ice cream is always awesome. But, meet in a public place, in case shit goes down, just whatever. I want to be careful. So, but yeah, I had a feeling that something was up with her. I knew something was up for sure. And she's like, I don't know what to do. I don't understand people like him. Like I heard he has a new person's life to mess with. And why try to contact me? He was affecting my financial life too. What you and I started was a positive thing, and he is a black cloud. Arg, And I get it. I had a feeling there was something else there. And again, like I said, I'm not judging. And I told her straight up. I called her and I said, "Listen, you deal with this shit. I can't help you. I can't. I've never met this person yet. Like, how the fuck can I help her? Let's just keep it real. I mean, from my end, this is nuts. But at the same time, we're all going through shit. Handle your business, and we'll figure something out. But then once you figure all the shit out, we'll set a date for sure. Make sure it's not a fucking huge snowstorm this time, and that's it. And hopefully we can see each other." Now, what's weird is after I've done that with her, she was cool and all that, and I haven't heard from her since. I'm not gonna lie. I've messaged her, texted her, left her a few voice mails. I got nothing. So at this point, I'll be honest with you, I pretty much give up. I don't know. I have no idea what's gonna happen to her. What is happening? It's crazy. It really is, and that's the real scary thing. I don't think in this case, I don't think it's a scam. I mean, she never asked me for anything or implied anything, but and she even told me like she wanted to, just move on with her life. She was afraid to do the, dating again. She was single for years, didn't do anything, And that's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just the online thing. It's just, a lot of people go through this. Even I've taken breaks from dating and, stuff like that. And, yeah, I mean, you just have to take a few steps back and find out what the fuck is going on in your life. Like, why am I going through this? Is it my fault? Is it their fault? Am I encouraging this kind of behavior? It sucks. It really does. And, I do wish her all the best. I am sorry that we fought a few times there, got a little carried away. But I don't know. I mean, will I actually hear from her? She said she'll message me, maybe in a month's time or whatever. I don't know what to tell you. To be honest with you, I'm not holding my breath. Okay? Chances are I probably will never hear from her again. Maybe she just needs time to figure out shit. Who knows? Who knows? I remember one time I talked to a girl for off and on for like 10 years online. We finally met. We had a very magical night of checkers. And I never saw her again. We spoke a few times, but that's it. Point is, this online thing, you have no idea what's going on. You really don't. I mean, you think you do, but you have no idea. Wasn't that like MTV? Wasn't that a show that they did or something? Yeah, you think you know, but you have no idea. This is the story of whatever. They did one on Diddy one time. I remember that was. I mean, looking back at it now, that was I don't know. It's kind of disturbing because there was a point where he went into a restaurant and it was just him and Kevin Spacey. Huh. The point is, you just don't know what's going on online. Okay, so sometimes, it kind of leaves you frozen too because you're like, I don't know if I believe this person now. This is bullshit. Who knows? I think deep down, this wasn't bullshit. But at the same time, I think this person needs some space. Maybe I'll hear from her again. Who knows? But, one of these cases where no harm, no foul. I wish you all the best. And I don't know. I hope she's all right. So, again, you never know. Now, this other woman I talked to, not the same thing, but, talked to her for a little bit. It was good. you know. I think we had a misunderstanding about something. We resolved it. Then we talked again. And then, she disappeared. But then she said she was sick. And then, again, I got to say this to people. And again, it's not just an online thing, whatever. And people do get sick. Like I was sick, at the beginning of the year for like at least 2-3 weeks, bad chest infection there, the coughing, all that shit was going around. So I get it, wintertime, it happens. Canada. But the point is, I mean, to say you're sick and then just, totally disappear, that's weird. Yeah. So in this case, I think, I maybe she was sick, but at the same time, she just, I don't know. And it's very sad too. I mean, that's another very sad thing about online dating is that a lot of people, they go on here and they think that they could just do whatever they want. I mean, it's like this magical force field, and there's no responsibility. And if anything, it really, in a way, it's bad, but it's a blessing at the same time. You get to see, people's true colors sooner than, let's say if you go out with them for years on end. I mean, at least you see it right up front. It's like, holy shit, like this is how they are. Like no wonder they're alone and, they can't figure shit out for themselves. But like to, other people, like the way they act, it's just like this is normal to them, which is really, it's fucked up, But even like this person here I talked to, I mean, okay, we, I don't know, like again, sometimes you talk to someone, you just know it's going to go bad. You just know. Like good little conversation, and but I just, yeah, at the same time, yeah, I was like, here's my number, give me a call, whatever, and then she's like, oh, I don't know you well enough for you to have my phone number, I just, I just as a joke, I swear to God, just as a joke, I go, you will, I just ask away, because I'm like, okay, you're not gonna give me a number, fine, just ask me a bunch of questions, get to know me, that's it. And she's like, well, that's presumptuous, and as a smart ass prick like I am, I said, thank you. And she said, I didn't mean that as a compliment. And then, me still being a smart ass, I said, I did. And of course, you just feel it's not going to go anywhere, so, and I go, whoa, can you slow down with all the questions, and then she writes like rolls eyes hoping for a stroke, which, I get the rolls eyes part, the stroke thing. I mean, that could mean, whatever. The point is, she just gives me my walking papers and that's it, But that's cool. Like I get that because I just knew it wasn't gonna go anywhere, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. It's cool, bitch. The point is just let me know. It's fine. Like we don't get there's gonna be people on here we don't get along. Just don't like disappear and it's just weird, man. It is weird that people do that. I mean, I guess it's a new norm, like ghosting, but like, what are you hoping for? You know what I mean? Like just by ghosting someone, I don't think I've ever done that. And yeah, I mean, but then again, I'm the type of person, like if I don't get along with somebody, I'm Greek and Italian. I'm going to tell them to fuck off. I mean, I can't wait to do that shit. So, but yeah, I don't know. But there's one person here I talked to, and, it seemed like we had a good little rapport here, things are all right, whatever, Here's the weird thing, though, about this person. I don't think I've ever experienced this before. So, looking at her picture, okay, like it's not that well lit. I mean, it's not the brightest picture, it's not the darkest, but she has two pictures on there, one just with her, one with her dog. You can barely see her face in that one. Which again, I don't I get it. You like dogs, but Jesus. But just take a decent picture of yourself, and she did. It looked all right, whatever. But she's wearing all black. I can't really get an idea what she really looks like, and she keeps saying she's fat, but I don't know. She didn't look that fat. Maybe it was the angles and the darkness. I don't know. Who knows? But here's the weird thing. I'm looking at this picture, and I'm telling you, and again, I am not racist, which is something that a lot of people that are racist, they say, but I'm not. I'm just not. I'm just European. Um, she looks like, she's part black, like light skinned, whatever. So, and she sends me a voice note, and she sounds black. I mean, she sounds like, you know, it's the cup of coffee is not, filled all the way with milk, if you know what I mean. There's something there. I mean, she could be, related to Steph Curry. Um, but she told me she's like another race, just like a white race, whatever, right? But but then I told her that I said, like, I think, like, have you ever been told that you look black? I would have, I'm just joking around. I could have sworn you were black, the way you sound or whatever, and like, I don't have a problem with that, whatever, who cares. But it was just funny, and then she even laughed at that. And then at one point she says, like, maybe I sound black because I hang around a lot of black people. And I go, really? That's what happens, really? I'm like, I mean, I don't know. Although I do live in Toronto, I mean, that could actually happen. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, that actually that actually could happen. I mean, yeah, whatever. Uh, but yeah, I'm still like, really, and then, like, I'm just telling her, like, I don't care how big you are or whatever. She's like, the same thing, your personality. Yeah, we're both in agreements here, whatever, and she says, like, like I don't have a big ass, but I got boobs. The ass is there. Don't worry. I'm just like making a joke, like, whatever, like, is it like a white ass? Is it like if I rolled down like a penny down your back? I mean, will it make a hole in the pavement? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just fucking around. That's all. We're all just bullshitting, whatever. And what's weird is she's sending me these voice notes, and she's like, I don't know how to describe it. I don't like it was the real the black voice, and I'm just like, what the fuck, like, what's going on here? I'm still not convinced. I'm really, and again, I don't care. I'm just saying it's tripping me out. What's really tripping me out is that as she's talking, it sounds like she has someone right there beside her, behind her, almost like giving her notes. So it's like, something like, I don't know what to tell you. I still got, like, an ass. I'm just saying it's not that big ass. Well, what the hell does he want to know? Is it a big ass? Yeah, I know, right? We're just talking about ass here. And I don't know, something about, what's this guy want to know? And I'm like, I don't know, like, and then I message her back. I'm like, what am I, on fucking View? Like, what's going on here? I don't know. I'm getting, who you talking to? I don't know. So she's like, she must be bored with life, and like, her friend is giving her brilliant guidance, and I don't know, this is probably why they're both alone, and and then she's like, well, I'm not feeling this. I'm gonna say goodbye to you. I'm like, okay, girlfriend. So yeah, it just really threw me off. I'm positive she was lying about a race. I'm convinced of it. I mean, no, no, I smell bullshit. But the point is, okay, just try to be, upfront about what you want, and what you look like, and again, nobody cares what your race is. We live in Toronto here. It is a beautiful city. I think it's the most multicultural city in the world. It is. It's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. So, if you're white or black or yellow or purple, or from downtown Toronto, or Scarborough, Brampton, Jane and Finch, one out of those four places, I'll probably come and visit you. That's it. But the point is, just be aware of how you come across, and I guess, I mean, what's the lesson here? I don't know. I don't know. All of a sudden, you hang around black people, you start talking black too. I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know, if I start, like, I don't know, hanging around Jamaican people. Am I gonna, Well, I mean, Bob Marley. I mean, I found out Bob Marley was half white. I didn't fucking know that until I saw the movie there. Yes, Bob Marley is half white. He's like English or something. Yeah, right? When I saw the movie in the theaters there, yeah, me and my white friend there, we were like, "What the fuck is going? Really? I didn't know that shit either. What the fuck? I mean, like of all people in the Jamaican history, to think that they're half white, Bob Marley would be the last guy. I mean, really, like, yeah, sorry, man, but pardon my whiteness. But ladies and gentlemen, that's what I am. I'm white. I'm half Greek, half Italian. I don't think I sound black. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Well, I'm going to stop this podcast before I dig the hole deeper. So, ladies and gentlemen, just try to be honest with each other, and I think we'll be just fine. Okay? But again, this has been, once again, a non-racist episode of Computer Love, Part 43.
Yo, for real.
Okay, I think that's about it. I don't think we need any more. Can't do this.
Yeah.
Why not?
No, this is not going.
Is it because I was black?
I can't waste my time.
Is it because I was black?
You're black?
Who?
Huh? Who's black?
Your eyes.
No, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't know.
Why not?
I don't have time. Sorry.
You've been rude to me from the first moment.
Right. I'm sorry.
Trying to tell me I don't speak English.
Well, right.
Yo, it's been rude. That's quite racist, to be honest.
Oh, racist, not racial.
Yo, racist. Yo, keep the cameras running. See that this is racism going on here.
fine.
Just chucking me out because the colour of my skin.